Hey YouTube, welcome to the second of my 50 flights, 50 states and 50 flights. This time we're going from Jefferson City, Missouri to Topeka, Kansas. And as you can see, I will be flying the Cessna instead of the Learjet. The Cessna Skylane is what used to be the default in all previous versions of Flight Simulator. And while it doesn't go as fast, probably because it doesn't go as fast, it's a lot easier for me to control. And I should probably be able to land somewhere other than a tree in someone's backyard using this one. Now it's going to take a little longer to make this flight because of the slower craft. But I'm going to do what I can to cut out the unnecessary bits, such as making you watch while I taxi across an airport and that kind of thing. So let's get a hold of Jefferson City ground and see about getting going.
Jefferson City ground, Cessna, November 003, Lima, ready to copy IFR clearance to Topeka. Cessna, November 003, Lima is cleared to Topeka Airport as filed. Fly runway heading, climb and maintain 4,000. Departure frequency is 124.375, squawk 7711.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pause the recording and I'll pick this back up when I'm actually at the runway and have something worth watching. Okay, we are at runway 30, ready for takeoff. A couple of things I wanted to point out first. With this aircraft, if you set the elevator pitch to that little mark there that says TO, when you get going fast enough, it'll take off without you doing a thing. Okay, so let's see. Let's go ahead and get clearance and take off. Turn the tower. Request.
Jefferson City Tower, Cessna, November 003, Lima, ready to go. Runway 30, IFR to Topeka. Cessna, November 003, Lima, cleared for takeoff. Runway 30. Cessna 03, Lima. Did you hear my last transmission?
Yeah, I heard you. I'm busy.
Takeoff, runway 30. Cessna, November 003, Lima.
Just a little bit of flaps. Make it take off a little earlier. Now, I'm not touching the joystick at all at this point. Okay. Once we're airborne, we retract the flaps. Pull back on the stick just a little bit. And if you keep your artificial horizon right at that mark, then it will continue to climb. And again, I'm not touching the controls at all.
Cessna 03, Lima. Contact Zoo departure on 124.375. Going to 124.375. Cessna 03, Lima. Cessna November 003 Lima is at 1,200, climbing 4,000. Cessna November 003 Lima, resume departure, roger, altimeter 2998, Mooney 624, contact Kansas City Center on 118.4. Cessna 03 Lima, traffic is 3 o'clock, 3 miles at 5,000, Piper Terrace, report them in sight. Going to 118.4.
Well, I can't see it from inside the aircraft. There it is. Just went off the screen to the left.
Cessna 03 Lima, traffic in sight. Mizzou approach, Baron November 26552 with you. Baron November 26552, Mizzou approach, roger, altimeter 2999.
Something else I'm going to do.
512, traffic is 9
If I set this from nav to GPS, then my VOR1 indicator, this vertical line here, shows how far I off from where the GPS says I ought to be. Because
traffic in sight. Cessna 128, traffic is 12 o'clock, 4 miles at 6,500. Baron, report them in sight. Baron 552.
I am going to have to get some practice with the Learjet, because the flight from California to Hawaii, even if this airplane had enough fuel to make the trip, which it doesn't, it's a 21-hour flight in this thing, and I can't do that. In the Learjet, it's still 7.5 hours, which means there'll be a lot of video just cut out of it because I'm not uploading a 7-hour video to YouTube. I don't expect anybody wants to sit and listen to my voice for that long. I know I wouldn't. I've never liked the sound of my own voice.
Baron 728, traffic is 10 o'clock, 4 miles at 4,000, Cessna Skylink, report them in sight. Cessna 832, traffic is 3 o'clock, 4 miles at 5,500, Baron, report them in sight. Baron 728.
Very shortly he's going to tell me to turn left.
Cessna 832, have the Baron in sight.
I can't believe this weather we're having. 72 degrees in the middle of August. I'm not complaining a bit. I've got it using real world weather, and I've got the simulator's clock set to my system clock. So this is actually the weather in Topeka right now. He's going to do it again. He's going to ask me to turn while I'm in the middle of trying to level off. I can see that coming.
Baron 728, traffic alert, 12 o'clock, less than 1 mile, 4,000, Cessna Skylink, report them in sight. Cessna 832, traffic alert, 6 o'clock, less than 1 mile, 5,500, Baron, report them in sight. Baron 552, contact Kansas City Center on 133.4.
Okay, we're just about 100 feet below where we want to level off. So you carefully push the stick forward until the vertical speed indicator hits 0.
Airway 6070, turn left heading 280, resume own navigation, climb and maintain 12,000. Turn left heading 280, resume own navigation, climb and maintain 12,000. Airway 6070.
And then use the elevator trim down button.
Piper 752, traffic is 10 o'clock, 4 miles at 6,500, Baron, report to the site.
Take pressure off of the joystick.
Traffic is 1 o'clock, 4 warp mile at 5,500. Piper Cherokee. Report
Yes, I see them.
Barron, 414. Traffic is 10 o'clock. 3 miles at 5,000. Piper Cherokee. Report them in sight. Cessna 03 Lima. Turn left heading 250. Descend and maintain 4,000.
Told you he was going to do that while I was trying to level off.
50. Descend and maintain 4,000. Cessna 03 Lima. Piper 50 warp. Traffic is 9 o'clock. 3 miles at 9,000. Barron, report them in sight. Barron 600. Traffic is 11 o'clock. 3 miles at 5,500. Piper Cherokee, report them in sight. Barron 600, have the Piper Cherokee in sight. Piper 50 warp. Traffic in sight. Piper 152, traffic is 9 o'clock, 4 miles at 5,500. Piper Cherokee, report them in sight. Piper 50, warp, traffic is 9 o'clock, 4 miles at
'Almost got it.
5,500. Piper Cherokee, report them in sight. Piper 50, warp, have the Piper Cherokee in sight. Piper 152, traffic in sight. Pursuit departure landmark 1173 is at 1,200, climbing 10,000. Landmark 1173, pursuit departure, roger, current altimeter 299 Landmark 1173, turn right heading 355, resume own navigation, climb and maintain 10,000. Turn right heading 355, proceed on course, climb and maintain 10,000. Landmark 1173.
Okay, almost.
Piper 50, warp, traffic is 10 o'clock, warp miles at 7,600.
At this point, I have absolutely no pressure on the joystick whatsoever. I'm just using the elevator up and down trim to try and get it to level off it perfectly. There are going to be little adjustments on the elevator up and down throughout the whole flight.
Cessna 03 Lima, turn right heading 280, resume own navigation. Turn right heading 280, proceed on course. Cessna 03 Lima. Barron 414, traffic is 11 o'clock, 4 miles at 3,200. Cessna Caravan, report them in sight. Airway 6070, traffic is 3 o'clock, 4 miles at 7,500. Cessna Caravan, report them in sight. Airway 6070, have the traffic.
Lost more altitude than I wanted during that turn, but
City Center on 118 warp. Barron 414,
I won't tell anybody if you don't.
118 warp. Airway 6070. Barron 414, traffic alert, 2 o'clock, less than 1 mile, 4,000. Cessna Caravan, report them in sight. Cessna 03 Lima, have the Piper Cherokee in sight. Piper 50 warp, traffic is 9 o'clock, 4 miles at 7,000.
I did this same flight yesterday
Report them in sight.
without recording it,
Warp, traffic in sight.
just as sort of a practice run.
Piper 50 warp, traffic
It wasn't near as cloudy then, it was a lot better.
6,000. Cessna Caravan, report them in sight. Landmark 5626, traffic is 9 o'clock, 4 miles at 5,500. Piper Cherokee, report them in sight. Landmark 5626, have the Piper Cherokee in sight. Landmark 5626, traffic is 8 o'clock, 4 miles at 6,000. Cessna Caravan, report them in sight. Landmark 5626, have the Cessna Caravan in sight.
I'm drifting off to the right. I need to turn back a little bit.
traffic is 3 o'clock. 4 miles at 4,000. Mooney, report to inside. Hybrid 504, we have the traffic.
I need to pause this for a moment. We're going to spend a lot of time looking at this dashboard today because I intend to do this without the aid of the autopilot. Like I said in the last video, only in this plane I'm certain I can actually do that. I say that because I did it the other day. Still giving it little adjustments of elevator up, trying to get back up to 4,000 feet.
Cessna 03 Lima, traffic is 10 o'clock. 4 miles at 7,500. Cessna Skylane, report to inside. Cessna 19er.
Yeah, I see both of them.
11 o'clock. 4 miles at 3,900. Cessna Skylane, report to inside. Landmark 1173. Climb and maintain 12,000. Cessna 03 Lima, have the Cessna Skylane in sight. Cessna 192, traffic in sight.
What I like is when they start hollering at me, "Did you hear me? Did you hear me? You didn't answer." And it's only because I can't get a break in the conversation long enough for me to answer. I'd be happy to answer if you'd shut up so I could hear it. Okay.
Landmark 5626, traffic is 11 o'clock. 4 miles at 5,300. Learjet, report to inside. Learjet 440, traffic is 4 o'clock. 4 miles at 7,500. Cessna
Okay,
report to inside.
what I'm going to do now is adjust my course and get back on what the GPS says I ought to be on. It says I need to fly to the left. This is the heading that I'm actually on. That's what happens when you take your hand off the control and someone grabs it.
Contact Kansas City Center on 119.65. 119.65.
Well, she actually put me pretty close to the track I needed to be on.
Whiteman approach, Cessna November 003.
CTS here is course to select, or course to set.
Cessna November 003 Lima, Whiteman approach, roger, current altimeter 3001.
You fly that course, and as it intersects that line where my flight plan says I'm going, then that 260 will gradually start to increase, and if I just keep turning to the right with it, I will end up right on top of that little pink line. Alternatively, I could watch the VOR1 needle here, and when it centers, turn to a heading of 277. I got that number because that's the bearing. That's the course I fly to get to where I'm going.
Cessna 8906, contact Kansas City Center on 119.65. 119.65 for Cessna 8906.
Okay, once again, I'm back down to the altitude I'm supposed to be at. Maybe this time I can stay there without somebody grabbing the controls away from me. The reason I'm flying all these missions IFR, instrument flight rules, is because of what I'm seeing right here. A lot of clouds, you can't really see much of what's going on. And this is in spite of the fact that I look out the window in my living room here and there's not a cloud in the sky. I cannot go by the weather where I'm at and assume it's going to be like that everywhere. Check my heading against what the GPS says. I'm off course again.
Altimeter 3001.
This GPS is a very handy tool, but it tends to get in the way. Solution for that is right click, undock, and drag it out of the way.
Roger, altimeter 3000.
My heading is 276, the bearing is 276, and the course to set is 276. I am exactly where it says I need to be, except it just drifted to 275. It's easier to tell when you're actually level on a clear day. When you can tell exactly where the horizon is. Maybe I shouldn't sit here and nitpick every little degree on here. As long as I get where I'm going, isn't that really all that matters? Put this away. So it'll be reminding me about that Skyhawk shortly. When they do, yes, I saw it. I saw that Skyline too.
Viper 152, contact Kansas City Center on 119.65. Going to 119.65, Viper 152.
I just want to check something. Coming up on Whiteman Air Force Base. I wish this map included cities. Oh well, I was trying to see what town that was I just passed. I don't happen to have a real life map of Missouri handy.
Cessna 192, traffic is 12 o'clock, 4 miles at 4,000. Cessna Skylane, 47 site.
Here it comes any minute.
Cessna 03 Lima, traffic is 10 o'clock, 4 miles at 5,500. Cessna Skyhawk, 47 site. Cessna 192, traffic in sight. Cessna 03 Lima, at the traffic. Whiteman approach, Cessna November 87872 with you. Cessna November 87872, Whiteman approach, roger, altimeter 3003.
Missouri has such interesting names for some of their towns. You'd think you're in a different country. There's Mexico, Missouri, Columbia, Missouri, Peru, Missouri. I can't remember some of the others, but those are the ones that I'm familiar with because I used to live not maybe 40 miles from Jefferson City. So those are all highway signs that I've seen.
Cessna 192, traffic is 12 o'clock, 4 miles at 6,000. Cessna Caravan, 47 site. Emerald Harbor Air 9851, traffic is 12 o'clock, 4 miles at 5,500. Cessna Skyhawk, 47 site. Cessna 192, have the Cessna Caravan in sight. Emerald Harbor Air 9851, have the Cessna Skyhawk in sight. Cessna Board 72, contact Kansas City, approach on 119.0. 119.0, Cessna Board 72. Moody 52 East, contact Kansas City Center on 119.65. Viper 696, contact Mizzou, approach on 124.375. 124.375 for Viper 696.
This weather that I'm looking at makes me really wish that I had recorded the flight I did yesterday. There was hardly a cloud in the sky. I need to go ahead and look up the frequency for the ILS I'll be coming in on and get that set so that I won't be trying to do it at the last minute. One 10.7.
Have the traffic.
110.7. And that way when I switch this back to nav, then this gauge will show the ILS. I try to hit the B key every time I hear somebody give the altimeter, whether they're talking to me or not, so that it'll reset the altimeter on my aircraft. Then I'll have my altitude correct.
November 3004 Whiteman approach, roger, altimeter 3001.
I'm not sure if I'm far enough west yet, but if I am, that town off my right wing could be Independence, Missouri.
Mooney 584, traffic is 2 o'clock, 4 miles at 6,500.
According to something I ran into on the internet the other day, Independence, Missouri is home of the World Hair Museum. I don't even want to know. Kansas City is an interesting place too, because it's actually in Kansas and Missouri. The state line runs right down the middle of the town. I've only been there once, and that was to visit a military museum with a friend of mine. But people I know have told me that in downtown Kansas City, you have to really pay attention to where you are, because you can walk across an alley and change states and not even know it. If anybody out there actually lives in Kansas City and can verify that for me, be interesting to know. Or if it was just a friend of mine making stuff up. Check that. Estimated time en route 39 minutes. I am 90 nautical miles away.
Cessna 03 Lima, traffic is 2 o'clock, 4 miles at 7,500.
2 o'clock.
Cessna Skyhawk, report
Yep.
7 site.
Found them.
Cessna 008, traffic is 3
Now you
o'clock,
won't stop
4
talking
miles
long
at
enough for me to
4,000.
say I found it.
Cessna Skylane, report 7 site. Cessna 03 Lima, at the traffic. Cessna 008, traffic in sight. Whiteman approach, American Pacific 6061 at 11,600, descending 10,000. Cessna 03 Lima, your 8-9er miles east, turn right, heading 315, expect vectors ILS, runway 13, approach. American Pacific 6061, Whiteman approach.
Tell me what to do and then don't give me a chance to say okay, and then complain because I didn't say okay.
4 miles southeast, turn left, heading 240, expect vectors ILS, runway 1, right approach. Turn right, heading 315, expect vectors ILS, runway 13, approach. Cessna 03 Lima. Turn left, heading 240,
Okay.
expect vectors ILS, runway
At this
13
point,
right
the GPS just became
American
irrelevant.
Pacific 6061. American Pacific 6061. Contact Kansas City. Approach on 119.0. 119.0 for American Pacific 6061.
So I can switch this back to nav. A little bit of down elevator because the VSE's not centered right. VSI, I'm sorry. Vertical speed indicator. Means I'm going down.
Cessna 03 Lima. Turn
Yep.
left, heading 280.
Turn left, turn right, turn left, turn right. There actually is a way to get around them telling you turn left and then 2 minutes later turn right and then repeat infinitum ad nauseum.
Cessna 03 Lima, contact Kansas City approach on 119.0. 119.0.
If you select
Cessna 03
a different approach,
Kansas City approach, Cessna November 003 Lima, with you 4000. Cessna November 003 Lima, Kansas City approach, roger, altimeter 3002.
if you select an approach that doesn't involve vectors, then they'll just have you fly straight to this point and circle around, and you end up lined up with the runway, and in you go. I'll show you what they just did. If you look at the map, I was going along here. They sent me off this direction and then turned me. And my guess is that here, somewhere right about this point, they're going to turn me this way and then that way again, and then this way and then that way. It's almost like looking at a digital image that's zoomed in too far and you're seeing the individual pixels on all the edges. I'm pretty sure it's a bug that has to do with resolution. I don't know if they ever fixed it in Flight Simulator 10, given that I don't have a copy of it. Back down.
Kansas City departure, orbit 5495 is climbing through 2,100 for 13,000. Orbit 5495, Kansas City departure, roger, altimeter 3005. Orbit 5495, turn right heading 080, resume own navigation, climb and maintain 13,000. Cessna 232, traffic is 11 o'clock. Miles at 4,500.
Now I'm fighting some wind.
Orbit 5495. Turn right heading 105. Climb and maintain 13,000. Cessna 8906. Turn left heading 240.
There's an airport up ahead, I think. It sure looks like ILS landing lights. Rather than pull up the map and pause the simulator again, click nearest. This
Cessna 03 Lima, traffic is 10 o'clock. 4 miles at 7,900. Learjet, report them in sight. Learjet 648, traffic is 7 o'clock. 4 miles at 4,000. Cessna Skylink, report them in sight. Learjet 648, have the traffic.
You did say 10 o'clock. I don't see nobody nowhere.
Cessna 03 Lima, have the traffic. Kansas City
Yep.
approach, Cessna November 19.
While I wasn't looking, my altitude was going down. Like I said, if I'm not on the autopilot, you're going to spend a lot of time looking at this dashboard.
Turn right heading 125, resume own navigation. Landmark 8619, traffic is 9 o'clock, 4 miles at 2,900. Learjet, report Report them in sight.
I don't know what just happened. All of a sudden, started losing altitude in a hurry. Wind or a cold front or something.
Cessna 214, traffic is 11 o'clock, 4 miles at 2,800, Boeing 737. Report them in sight. Cessna 03 Lima, turn left heading 245. Cessna 216, contact Kansas City Center on 119.65.
245.
Turn left heading 245. Cessna 03 Lima.
It won't last.
Cessna 03 Lima, turn
I
right
told
heading
you.
280.
280.
Turn right heading 280. Cessna 03 Lima. Airway at 6865. Turn left heading 265. Turn left heading 265. Airway 6865.
That would be downtown Kansas City, straight ahead.
Airway at 6865. Turn right heading 295. Turn right heading 295. Airway 6865. Landmark 8619er. Contact Whiteman.
Now I'm going to pull up that map again. I'm going to pause this and show you what I'm talking about. I'm going the same direction I was a while ago. They just put a jog in it for no reason. And yes, I am coming up on Kansas City, the town that doesn't know what state it's in.
Turn left heading 280. Airway 6865.
I've always thought it would be interesting if there was a version of Flight Simulator that actually grabbed terrain data from satellite images the way Google Maps does. You know, grab a 10 or 15 mile square area on the fly as you need it. I can't help but wonder how accurate that terrain is. I'm sure some of the major buildings are right, but I get the feeling most of the little roads are just randomly generated.
Orbit 1330, have the Piper Cherokee site.
I have since forgotten what I was doing with this open. But it says I'm 16 minutes from the airport. I just passed Kansas City Airport. Something else you can do with this GPS is this little button, this little knob will move it to different subpages. And if you don't double click on it or something stupid like that, okay, I'm actually in Kansas. There's the border. And if you zoom out,
118.9er for airwave export 20. Piper 632, contact Kansas City approach on 124.7. Going to 124.7, Piper 632.
However, I prefer to leave it on that page because there's more actual information there. Leave Kansas City International somewhere off in that direction.
Airwave export 20 with you. Cessna 03 Lima. Contact Kansas City approach on 124.7. Airwave 6420. Kansas City approach. Roger. Altimeter 3004. Airwave 6420. Traffic is 12 o'clock. 3 miles at 4,000. Cessna Skylink. Report to inside. Airwave 6420. Have the Cessna Skylink in sight. 124.7 for Cessna 03 Lima. Kansas City approach. Cessna November 003 Lima with you. Cessna November 003 Lima. Kansas City approach. Roger. Current altimeter 3004. Cessna 03 Lima. Turn right heading 315.
Yes, and as soon
Turn right heading 315. Cessna 03 Lima.
and as soon as I get to heading 315, you're going to turn me back to heading 280. Tell me I'm wrong. I dare you.
Kansas City approach. Cessna November 7768 with you. Cessna November 7768. Kansas City approach. Roger. Current altimeter 3006. Cessna 03 Lima. Turn left heading 285.
Okay, 285 instead of 280.
Turn left heading 285. Cessna 03 Lima. Kansas City approach. Piper November 10144. Request clearance to transition Bravo airspace. Piper November 10144. Kansas City approach. Clear to Bravo airspace.
You know, just once I'd like to hear someone
Piper November 10144.
request clearance to transition to Bravo airspace, and then the answer they get is no. Go around. He's going to warn me about that Piper Cherokee. Probably while I'm making a turn that I don't need to make, but he insists I do.
Cessna 03 Lima. Traffic is 11 o'clock. 4 miles at 6,500. Cessna Skyhawk. Report to inside. Piper 632. Traffic is 4 o'clock. 4 miles at 5,500. Cessna Caravan. Report to inside. Cessna 376. Traffic is 4 o'clock. 4 miles at 4,000. Cessna Skylink. Report to inside. Cessna 03 Lima. Have the Cessna Skyhawk in sight. Cessna 376. Traffic is 9 o'clock. 4 miles at 5,500. Piper Cherokee. Report to inside. Piper 144. Contact Kansas City approach on 118.9er. Cessna 376. Have the Piper Cherokee in sight. 118.9er.
Okay, does everybody see everybody else now?
Approach Piper November 20040 with 5,500. Piper November 20040. Kansas City approach. Roger. Altimeter 3005. Piper 040, traffic is 1 o'clock, 2 miles at 6,500. Cessna Skyhawk, report to inside. Kansas City, departure, Piper, November 58848, this type, Piper, Cherokee, 3 miles south of Kansas City, 3000, request clearance to transition, Bravo, airspace. Piper, November 58848,
No, go around.
Kansas City, departure, squawk 4376. Squawk 4376, Piper 848. Piper 848, radar contact.
Charlie airspace is closed.
Kansas City, 3400.
You took all the air out of it.
Maintain on navigation. King Air 712, traffic is 9 o'clock, 4 miles at 5,500. Cessna Skylink, report to inside. Cessna 03 Lima, contact Kansas City Center on 123.8.
Didn't we just do this?
123.8 for Cessna 03 Lima. King Air 712, turn left. Kansas City Center, Cessna November 003 Lima, with you. Cessna November 003 Lima, Kansas City Center, roger, current altimeter 3005.
How far away are we? 6 minutes. Closer than I thought.
Cessna 272, traffic is 6 o'clock, 3 miles at 5,500. Cessna Skyhawk, report them in sight. Kansas City Center,
Won't be too long when they're telling me to make a turn to the left and lose a bunch of altitude.
Roger, altimeter 3005.
Unless, of course, they want me to do another jog to the left and jog to the right first. Which I don't really think they've got time for that if I'm only 5 minutes away. Let's zoom this in a little bit. In, not out. And I am going to leave this open, but just drag it off the screen for a moment. Because frankly, as hazy as it is out there, I don't know if I'd see the runway.
Cessna 03 Lima, please expedite your descent.
Said I was working on it.
Cessna 560, traffic is 6 o'clock, 4 miles at 7,500. Cessna Caravan, report them in sight. Cessna 03 Lima, you are 13 miles northwest, turn left, heading 160, descend and maintain 2,200. Cleared ILS, runway 13 approach, maintain 2,200 until established on the localizer. Contact Topeka Tower on 118.7. Turn left, heading 160, descend and maintain 2,200. Cleared ILS, runway 13, approach, maintain 2,200 until established. Tower on 118.7, Cessna 03 Lima.
Yeah, I needed that gust of wind at exactly that moment, thanks. And that one too, appreciate that.
Landmark 28. Topeka Tower, Cessna November 003 Lima is 11 miles northwest, inbound ILS, runway 13, approach. Cessna November 003 Lima, Topeka Tower, flight straight in, runway 13, altimeter 3005. Flight straight in, runway 13, Cessna 03 Lima. Cessna 544, you are leaving my airspace. Frequency change approved.
I need to slow this thing down too. Okay, that says the runway is straight ahead of me, and I think I see it. Right there. Use the power to adjust the altitude. Raise the nose to lower the speed.
Cessna 03 Lima, cleared to land, runway 13. Cleared to land, runway 13. Cessna 03 Lima.
Degrees of flaps should help slow me down. Too high. More flaps. I'm too high and I'm faster than I want to be. That's looking better. I'd just like to live in one of those houses right at the end of the runway. Get over the end of the runway. And cut power. And bounce. Repeatedly. We are a basketball.
Contact ground 1 point.
Exit runway when able. How about I get back on the runway first? This time instead of
Cessna 03 Lima, acknowledge last transmission. Going to 121.9er, Cessna 03 Lima. Topeka ground, Cessna November 003 Lima, request taxi to parking. Cessna November 003 Lima, taxi to general aviation parking. Via taxiway, runway 4.
and that would be where?
Taxiing to general aviation parking using taxiway, runway 4. Cessna November 003 Lima.
Okay, I'm going to pause this again because, like I said at the beginning, it's not much fun to watch somebody taxi around an airport. Okay, we have taxied to parking. Actually landed the aircraft without breaking a bunch of stuff. And just to be that way, I'm going to first of all get this set up for takeoff again, because I tend to forget to do that at the beginning of the flight, so I make sure it's set that way at the end. And then, really in the interest of being that way, I am going to turn everything off. And including the engines. She's parked. And there's the parking brake. Okay, next time we'll be starting here and flying to Wiley Post Regional Airport in Oklahoma City. I'll see you then.